I don't know of any drow in Myth Loros.
You know of one now. Don't worry,
Uh,
I won't be here for long.
my name is Donnovan. Um,
Yes, I know.
uh, to whom am I speaking?
You can call me Jax. He smiles at
Uh,
you. I feel for the plight of the people here.
well, Mr. Jax,
I did not know there were so few that survived.
the people of Myth Loros are few, but we are strong and we are protected by our colonel. Do you worship the spider?
No. All of my kind, whether they believe it or not, try to escape her grasp. It is one of the greatest failings of Corlon to outcast a Rushni, to punish an entire people for her crimes and the crimes of few. It is something that I seek to undo.
23 knowledge religion? I do I know that story or no?
Yeah, you know the story probably 20, 30,000 years ago, something called the Crown Wars. There were elves that were dark elves that lived on the surface, like they were just darker skinned elves. And some of their kind turned to the worship of well, some of them worshipped a Rushni, which was Corlon's mate. And some of them started turning to demon worship and summoning to get what they wanted. And Corlon banished them
Cast
all.
cast them into darkness.
Yes.
Uh, mm,
This guy just finished saying that he seeks to undo that. And he's looking over his shoulder again, and he's listening.
I don't know that Arashni and Coralon like each other anymore. I don't know if this is something chocolates and romantic music could solve. Bottle of wine?
So few young ones. I
Um,
somehow suspected more.
uh,
How would you ever know that the birth rate of a population was too low when elves lived so long?
uh,
How would you know until it was too late?
do the dark elves have similar problems?
You hear this horrible rattling sound. It's like hundreds of chains moving at the bottom of a wolf's howl. Like the roar of a furnace meets that of a howl of a wolf. And like the grinding of gears.
Where's the sound coming from?
It's distant, and this seems to startle him. Don't worry. He's only after me. Dogs in the area might be weird for a bit.
Dogs in the area. What's chasing you?
Something that won't be of your concern for many years. Remember my question. Remember my questions. They should be yours if you care for these people.
Make love, not war?
No, the Drow do not have that problem, but we have other problems that keep our numbers thin. And the multiverse could use quite a few more elves in these trying times. There's the horrible rattle again, and it's closer. You actually see like elves lighting magical lights, like what the hell's going on, kind of thing. You get the sense that there's an impending force that is moving closer. He has started to meld into the shadows. We'll see each other again, Donnovan, from your perspective. It will be a long time from now.
I don't cast glitter dust on him, although it would be hilarious. I don't do that, but... Alright, Jax.
The geneticist.
Red tulip, white tulip, pink tulip.
There may not be any tulips left.
Posies smell good as well.
Not the same. I cannot let him get to the third howl. Always the third. He looks down at you.
I can summon fireballs.
He grins. You're going to need much more than that, young bard. God singer. And he's now completely gone in the shadows, and you hear the third roar, and something jumps over a nearby building. It is truly titanic. It is a hound that is made out of clockwork gears. And for the first
Robo Poochie.
And for the first time, you've seen an agent of law. This creature frightens you at the same time you know that it's singular in its purpose. It is
Knowledge
hunting.
planes.
It is hunting this strange purple-skinned drow named Jax.
32. What in the...
The Hound of Law, also known as the Hunting Hound of the Gods, really speaks to as it is a divine creature. Not quite deity, but like a mythic, legendary creature that is sent down to hunt godlings that disturb the laws of the multiverse.
Static Limit said, "Oh, you're going to encounter that at some point. It was inevitable." Dun dun dun.
Matt, how's it going? it was inevitable.
It was inevitable.
It's inevitable. Yeah, it actually lands kind of right next to you. You can hear elves screaming and running. Like there's a voice inside of it somewhere. Rattling of chains and the grinding of gears. Its gaze looks down at you. There are things flying, like little orbs around it that you realize are with it. Kind of like a hunter has like a bunch of hounds. It's like this hound has a bunch of hunters. It's really strange.
It's talking to me?
It's blurting out something that may have been language.
Cast a comprehend languages.
Okay.
This is your only warning.
What was it go away or was it not go away?
And it just launches into the air and impossibly long leap. These little spheres with like mechanoid wings, kind of flying by with it. At least a dozen of them. And
all right, we're running home to mom.
Donovan's running.
Expeditious retreat. Whee!
The event is talked about for some time.
It is talked about by other people. It's not like drugs are bad, kids. Don't do drugs.
No,
No.
it is talked about other people. Do you offer up any information, like that it actually spoke to you, or are you remaining silent on this issue?
I wasn't anywhere near the vicinity of any purple-skinned elf named Jax, the geneticist, or of a robo hound from God knows where.
Okay, so nobody mentions the purple skin drow.
But this crazy
It's just
dog thing.
the crazy dog thing that came out of nowhere, ran through our village, and then left. There are some that identify the little floating spheres as minor inevitables.
We played some games, and the creepy kid got his face painted, and then we went home. That's the kind of the story of that evening.
The word arbiter is used.
So I'll do a knowledge on inevitables.
Sure.
33. They're hunting robots from Canis.
Inevitables are a subtype of lawful outsider. They are construct-like. They enforce planar laws.
They're Terminators.
They're kind of like living outsiders, and then Arbiter is the lowest rank of these things. They're scouts and spies for the Inevitables. You could actually summon an Inevitable as a familiar if you wanted to do something that insane. Like, you're a chaotic character, aren't you? Or are you neutral good or chaotic good?
He's neutral good, but
Okay.
he's neutral good with chaotic leanings.
You are pretty sure you were the only one standing on the road when it said this is your only warning?
And I asked what was being warned about, and it just jumped away like an asshole.
Well,
I
it
don't
said something
know.
beforehand.
Could I try to remember what it said beforehand?
It was like machine noise.
Damn it!
You could roll a linguistics check to try to remember.
I
what it
will
said
roll a
beforehand.
linguistics. I'm a bard. I don't need to know how to use a skill to roll it. 15.
You can kind of remember the general sound of it. You might be able to reproduce it, and if you ever learned whatever tongue it was speaking, maybe you could find a way of interpreting. But it was very harsh, and it was kind of like very rude sound it made towards you.
I don't think I like them. I'm pretty convinced I don't like them. I don't trust the Jax thing, but I'm pretty certain I don't trust the robot thing. I mean, one guy said, "Hey, do you want some candy?" And the other one was like, "This is you have 30 seconds to comply," right? Like,
Okay. Years do go by. And while there is no Bard College here, there is something called, you were kind of known as the Impromptu. They sort of cobbled together because this generation of young folk that are in the town had a very strong, for whatever reason, predilection towards the arts. Like bardic arts and performance and that sort of thing. Oberon is part of the stratum of High Arcana. He's doing well. Solshar Wari is also a bard. And there is one day where you notice Solshar doing something. This is many years later. This is, you guys are young adults. You're 6th level for sure now. I'm gonna change your size of your tokens to medium.
my God.
But you see Solshar sitting by a cliffside, kind of outside of town. He's actually sitting outside of the Mythal. You know that there's this big brook, but there is a drop. He's kind of sitting on the edge, and he looks kind of down.
I would watch that first step.
Are you gonna go? You're gonna leave the
Yeah,
Mythal to go?
I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll go see what my weird, possibly suicidal friend is doing on a cliff on the middle of the.
You seem to startle him, and he's going to try to sleight of hand the thing that he had in his hand into his pocket.
And I will perceive him trying to sleight the thing into his hand with his pocket in the.
He gets a 28.
Oh. 37.
It was a wand, or maybe
Holy
a femur bone, or something. He was kind of like just sort of like slowly circling it, kind of pointed down, but he tucked it away when you startled him. Huh?
Hey, Soulshah. What's up?
The sky. It didn't fall today.
Kind of would. It'd fall every day, wouldn't you?
He's standing up and he's trying to position himself between you and the cliff.
I will go sit at the cliff.
Okay, he moves to kind of mirror you, like he's not letting you near the cliff. What do you want?
Only curious. You seemed lonely.
I wasn't alone. I made a friend. You're not going to tell on me, are you?
I wouldn't tell on you.
Such things are frowned upon.
It's okay to have friends.
I found this
friend?
I found this old bone, you see. He pulls out this femur bone that's just covered in arcane runes.
Oh, I didn't see you having that.
It's, It can wake the dead.
Detect magic.
Okay. Yeah, there are some... Well, he's actually wearing a couple of minor trinkets, but, yeah, the femur bone is radiating magic. Give me a spellcraft check.
I don't know what this is. 16.
It's giving a... I think faint. Give me a second. It's definitely necromancy.
Where'd you find it?
In some of the archives, there's a bunch of things down there. A bunch of really creepy things.
The restricted section. Come, you could tell me. It was in the restriction section, wasn't it?
There's a faint necromancy coming off of it. I sat it on my lap and I knew what it was. I knew. I've been carrying it around for a while, waiting for some sort of tragedy to happen.
That is creepy, dude.
Does it talk to you?
He looks at you like, an odd question, and he thinks, no.
How did you know what it did?
I looked at it. It's necromancy. It's a wand.
It is a wand.
Do you want to see my friend?
Sure, let's see your friend. I'm just checking to see if I've feathered follow my list, and I do not. I look carefully over the edge.
Okay. You feel Soulshar grab the back of your arm.
It's not helping.
You don't want to fall down there. It's a long way down.
Right, I don't want to fall down there.
He smiles.
Does look like a...
But you have to lean. Wow, I knew she was getting old.
I will very, very carefully. I cannot stress the level of very in the sentence.
So you
Carefully.
lean, and you can see that there's something moving down there. Like it's struggling to... It's a dead cat, and the bones of the cat are struggling to remove itself from its kind of like rotten, bloated skin.
Knowledge religion.
Yes.
28.
He created a skeletal cat. He's looking at you like he's not sure whether you should feel guilty or whether you're gonna disapprove. The cat's an old cat.
Knowledge or spellcraft, actually.
Sure.
I'd like to read the spell. 27. Create undead or create minor undead.
Well, you know of a spell, although you failed to identify the wand.
I don't know what the wand is.
Yeah. Animate Dead
Animate dead.
is usually
I
ranged
just-
touch. There's also an Animate Lesser Dead spell, which is you create a single zombie or skeleton.
How did it get to the bottom?
I kicked it. It was already dead. It died right over there.
Sense motive?
Sure.
This is an important one? 26?
Yeah, you don't think he's lying? You can see that there's a bit of, like, some sort of sick or... It's almost like it knew it was time.
It's the spells that make dead things come to life like this. All of these spells are... They're not good. They are evil spells. They're spells of death.
But death is a part of life, isn't it not? It's a part of the circle.
But,
Listen to
but
any
you-
druid in the sermons, and death is an important part.
Right, but you're preventing this death. You're pulling it out of the circle. It is
Nod.
dead, but it still moves.
He nods, but he seems strangely fascinated by what you're saying.
No, this doesn't make it a good thing. This is a bad thing.
Breaking the cycle. Yes.
The Bard Lich of Doom is going to be this guy in freaking 300 years.
Yes. He says. But then it would be unending.
We should probably put the wand back where we found it.
I like the wand. No one else is using it. No one's been down there in probably a century. Imagine what else we could find down there. Oh, you mentioned whispers. Yes, I heard whispers.
Yes. There could be whispers down there.
Yes.
Why don't we go down there?
What should we call it? I think the cat's name was Bethany in life. Maybe it should be something different. Now that it is unlife birthed, unbirthed.
Do you think that the master would be pleased if you showed up with a unbirthed kitty.
No, it wasn't a bonded mount. Bonded cat. It was just something they kept around.
Right,
Hunted mice.
but now it's an evil monster.
No.
It will attack us.
No, it won't. I can feel my control over it.
You're saying that you can control it.
Yes. Yes. It won't hurt to fly.
Well, then have it climb up here.
Yes. Let's have it climb up here and see what it does.
I cast Mage Armor.
He glances at you.
Do you want one too?
He nods.
Okay. Cast Mage Armor on him.
It's tingly. Okay, eventually after several tries he gets the cat to rip itself from its skin and it starts to climb up the side and it falls down a couple of times, but eventually this bloody, dirty, skeletal tomcat is just staring at Solskjaer and he's staring at it.
I've got a ready fireball to blow it out of existence.
She's so beautiful. Come here, kitty. Kitty, kitty, kitty. The thing just lurches forward and moves the grass towards him. And it just stands. It doesn't even sit when it gets all the way up to him. It listens. See? It is a good thing. And he kind of, like, doesn't want to touch it, but he gets a pet in, and then he's looking at the ick that's on the end of his hand, and then looks to you like he's going to wipe it off on you.
Prestidigitation.
Let's call her Entropy.
We should probably talk to someone. Why don't you bring Entropy?
No. No, there are some people in there that will try to kill her. And
She's already...
This is her unbirthday. It's just an unnewborn.
Alright. He casts shield on himself.
Okay.
And he puts his forearm towards the kitty.
What are you doing? He tries to hop between you and it.
I'm seeing if it's dangerous.
How? Why?
Well, if it tries to bite me, then it's dangerous.
Sit. He's kind of waving the wand at it, and the cat rump just goes good entropy.
Okay, I'm gonna present it a tasty forearm. Ooh, look at tasty elf arm.
It doesn't bite.
Yeah.
Doesn't even make a noise. I feel it's under my control. I could order it to bite you, but I don't think I want to do that. Do I?
Nope, no, you do not.
This will be our little secret.
Don't ask much, do you?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Let's go down. Let's go down into those. Let's go take a look at those stores.
All right, so you spend several days going through the archives, like you could spend your lifetime going through all of these things, and he shows you some stuff that,
people are spending their lifetimes going through these things.
He shows you some creepy stuff, and then you decide, okay, that's enough of this for the day, like a skull of an elf, and some weird books that have strange titles to them that you probably wouldn't want to read before you go to sleep or to reverie.
Yeah.
There does reach a point where you decide to go home, and you are definitely part of this impromptu bard college. There is one master. Mark, maybe you can help me create this person.
Sure.
He's called the Acting Sigil.
Say again?
The Acting Sigil. And I'll actually...
So I was hearing sigil with a sing in front.
Sigil.
Look, I created a cat. If he kicked the cat off alive, there would have been a much different end to that story. Oh no, the cat got burned up in a fireball. Oh, it's so horrible.
Sigil must have been some sort of title of, like, the master of a bard college, and you guys are basically known as the impromptu. Most of those that performed in that first event are the impromptu. Oberon is part of the mage college, and Rala's basically becoming something that she calls a biologist, which you guys just surmises means
Botanist.
Botanist.
That's a type of botanist.
Not Dr. Mengele.
Nope.
But I think
Dr.
everyone
Mengele's
else
assistant.
was a bard, wasn't? Like that. There was a
I'd
very
actually
heavy-
envisioned...
There's a bunch of artists.
Art-
So arts
yeah.
or whatever.
I had actually envisioned the rest as NPC artists, but with, like,
Good ability scores and stuff.
like Leandel and Hetty would have high ranks in craft and the feats like skill focus.
Okay. Are there any
They
particular
could be. I mean, it's
pursuits that you have? Any sort of like research that you wanted to do?
Well, he wants to figure out there's the god stuff in the book, but I don't know if they have the answers to this. Here, let me just... actually, there was some bard spells you wanted to do research on, like some low-level ones, if you're talking about that style of research.
Okay.
And then...
So the acting Sinjil Venser, you believe might also be a sojourner, which means that he spends time with the coronal and that he's been off-world before. He's just old enough that he may have experienced the Exodus, but he would have probably been about like a child when he did it.
That's interesting.
Many of the older people that did experience the Exodus aren't the types that want to go out exploring. They are the stay-at-home types. They're the ones that have their researches, that have their professions and don't want to leave Myth Loros.
You would have lost a lot of your adventure types in the Great War to keep your old planet.
Also, they don't speak of the Exodus too often because there are probably some horrible things that haunt them.
He takes a keen interest. So he takes a keen interest in magic, the planes, religion, as well as the many different types of performance. Even at 6th level, he's got 4 different performances.
Okay.
4 different types of performance.
You do chum around with Solshar a little bit. You almost take it upon yourself to cheer him up. His master is Grand Archivist Cherik Vrel. They seem to match them by we'll say did you find the exact picture that I used?
Yes, I'm that good.
Cool. For the token. I created like 15 just elven tokens to use kind of as we filled in things tonight. Solshar basically serves the Grand Archivist Cherik Vrel, so he's encountering a lot of neat things on almost like a daily or weekly basis. But he is one of the impromptu. And I've got Venser, who's the acting Sinjil. If this were a true bardic college, I would likely not be the Singil. The Singils tend to be bards.
So for brow.
I unfortunately was not there during your talents, but I've seen enough of what you can do, and I understand the practical theories behind bardcraft. I'm a bit of a singer myself, but I hear not quite as good as some of you in this circle. I look forward to being your mentor and telling you about, well, all things. As to become a bard, or so they say.
This is like grade 7 science class. You got a guy with a whistle and sweatpants going, in science, or so they say.
No.
Life
It's like
is on a
science.
spectrum.
It's like learning evolution in Texas. What they want you to believe is.
Also, they say, is to be a jack of all trades. A curious term that I'm actually not too sure where it originated. Perhaps that could be your first assignment. To come up with a story, whether it's researched or not, as to where the term jack of all trades came from. Yes, that sounds like a bard-like assignment.
Oh no.
You learn that Venser is a magus.
Oh, he's not even a very good wizard. he's just, you do weirdo magic. We don't have enough weirdos like you. You teach those weirdos.
So you do a bunch of these bard assignments and then sort of bond together a little bit as time goes on. You kind of have to deal with these ridiculous assignments, and you are slowly learning bardcraft through books, through sheet music, through here's just a bunch of weird instruments that I brought in today. We found it in the archives. Play with them.
Play 'em!
Yeah, exactly.
See, that's the best. That is the best assignment so far. The rest is bullcrap. That's a good assignment.
Yeah, exactly. He does know about history. Like he's knowledgeable, and he seems to be willing to forego a lesson if something complex comes up, and then he goes and researches a bit, and then comes back with the answers.
See, Donnovan is the type who's trying to why don't we just try to do some improv? Why don't we do a play where we don't know what we're going to say, and we'll pretend the audience is over there,
Okay.
and then we could just run through some stuff.
Venser actually likes helping out these students, and he really, really likes the challenge of teaching a profession that he is not of. And he's hinted a few times that the Sojourners value bardcraft.
Am I in a recruitment hall for the recruiting? Sense motive?
Mark, why would they send some young folk out into the... Would this be a challenge to join the Sojourners? To see if
how they react to adversity
Yeah.
versus the comforting life of within the mythal and the tree.
Yeah. Is that the 6th level adventure that you have planned, or the scenario?
It's a scenario.
Okay. I'm handing the reins over to you.
All right. I don't have a token.
I can make them for you.
All right. I need an elven lordy type.
That isn't Venser?
That isn't Venser. Oh, you know what? It
Wait,
could
you
be
doing-
Venser. It could be Venser. In fact, yeah, Venser will be fine.
Okay.
So Venser
This-
walks
this-
into class one day and says, I need a volunteer. Anyone?
I hate volunteering.
Then don't.
Oh. Do we get to know anything more, or is this just Color me
All right,
curious.
then,
I'll
if
volunteer.
you need details, that's fine. And he makes a note.
It's color me curious. I'll volunteer.
Excellent.
And so will Solshar. We can do this.
What? Why would you do such a thing?
Actually, I just need one of you.
Now I feel so alone.
What are you talking about? You're with the rest of the class.
We're all islands.
It
You know what the nice thing about an island is sometimes? They keep to themselves.
His inner artistic spirit is that which floats along.
Yes, well, his inner artistic spirit is not what I need at this particular moment, though it does have its place.
Oh, goody. I get pigeonholed with the rest of you.
Anyhow.
So, you were mentioning that you needed a volunteer, sir.
Yes, I do. A small, delicate matter has come up. And I gotta check a name. Sorry.
Jorge.
Oh, you know what? Master Del Kroon has requested one of our people to come help. What say you?
Well, I already volunteered, so...
Excellent.
Unless somebody else
At the end of our lesson today, I hear no other volunteers. See me at the end of the lesson today. So he goes about the lesson. I don't know how much you take in, not knowing what the hell you're about to do. And then he dismisses the rest of the class. Vashana comes up to you. Good luck with whatever you're about to do. I'm sure you'll do fantastic.
Thank you, Vishana.
Which is her daily affirmation that I love you.
Okay. You're nice too. Also, we need to make more elves. Who told me that? Don't worry, it wasn't a creepy purple man in a dark alley.
There we go.
You had a task, sir?
Yes. Have you ever been outside the mythal? And if so, how far?
Yes, and just to the edge of the woods. Also along the cliffs.
Actually,
Your parents probably brought you to swim in the brook that goes nearby, which is kind of near the cliffs. Yeah.
The brook as well. And he tries to... He's hiding something, and he's hiding the fact that he saw a guy raise a cat in the outside the mythal.
Okay, I don't know what this guy's sense motive is.
He's a magus. I don't think it's a class skill.
No, I don't think so either. Right. Well, that's good. It's not far from where I wish to send you.
It does get quite warm out there.
It appears one of my colleagues has discovered a... You familiar with the term node?
Knowledge Arcana? For...
Sure.
32?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it is...
intersection of different magical lines, planes, or properties?
Yes, ley lines. We haven't discussed them in class, but of course I'm not entirely familiar with everything you've learned on your own. Yes, it is an intersection point, and we've discovered one. However, it is an shall we say, unfortunate location. It is.
Donnovan has an idea of a story about an unfortunate location. uh,
He pulls out a map, and he points to a spot on the map. This is the location. Of course, these are the maps as of our boundaries. And as you can see from our maps, it's well within our borders. However, others would dispute these borders, especially now that this node has been discovered. And we aren't the only ones who know about it. In an effort to...
please say Venaran, please say Venaran, please say Venaran, please say Venaran.
Well, yes, the Venaran do know. Yes, they are sending a representative.
Yes!
As are the catfolk in the Strix. So I just want you...
Damn it!
We're going to see how well you handle yourself with these outsiders.
Do they speak trade tongue?
They speak... I don't know what they speak. I understand the Venarans speak elven.
That will be useful.
As for the catfolk in the Strix, I'm not entirely sure.
It's a catfolk right now.
Am I biased as a DM? I don't know.
Hilarious. This is funny. But I have to pee. I'll be right back.
All right.
Wait till Doggy World comes.
The werewolves show up.
Canine pride. So that will be challenging. Hopefully they speak Sylvan. Draconic.
It would actually almost make sense for Sylvan to be the trade tongue of this world.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'll talk to Marty about that. If that's the case, it'll probably be...
I don't know. I didn't know what was going to happen. I've got Crucible, Trade Tongue, Elven, Draconic, Celestial, and Sylvan.
Yeah.
And because in like 2 levels from now, I can speak with anything that has a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I wasn't like
Too worried
distracted
about
by
it.
linguistics.
Understood.
Yeah, it's the the 12th level version. Spoken. Anything that communicates via sound or anything that understands a language. So, owls, crows, dogs, anything. Computers. Modem. He would be able to speak modem.
We're speaking modem.
What's the matter?
We're speaking modem.
We were just looking
Entertain
at
the audience.
12 level Donnovan could speak modem. 6th level Donnovan can't, so this might be difficult. There might be interpretive dance for this node, our side. So many cookies. All right,
Oh,
Mark.
yeah, it's okay. Somebody's back. You, as per the agreement between the groups involved, one bodyguard, let's just say. If you don't have anyone in mind or a friend you'd like to bring, we can certainly assign you one from the School of, well, Martial Arts, I suppose. Actually, there is a promising young swordsman there if you're interested. Of course, if you're someone else you prefer. By all means, just so long as you trust that they'll be able to fight alongside you should the unfortunate and unlikely occur.
What interesting? Fighting. Hmm. Do you have any of these fighty people? I'm a big fan of the artistic style, the embellishment, sort of some of the classical plays where you know, feign death or injury. Less keen on the.
He raises a hand. I'll send word that you'll require an escort. It's I believe you I understand you've met Devon. It's one of his students.
Devon is.
In
One of his
fact, I believe it's
students should be
his favorite student. He must be quite talented.
Donnovan is going to pull out a puka shell necklace and put it on.
Yes, you've certainly met Devon. Very well. In the morrow, you will not have class. You'll meet, I believe his name is Broyon.
His name is Broyon. He's got bro in the name.
He does. You will meet him at the west gate to the tree.
Perfect.
Understood? I would take some time this evening to gather whatever information you can on the Venara, the Catfolk, and the Strix.
What am I supposed to do when I get
You're
there?
supposed to guarantee that we have access to that node. Now, whether we need to share it or we have proprietary claim over it, you're to do your best so that your people are the ones who benefit.
All right. What happens if they fight?
We do not want war with any of these tribes. And do keep in mind, if a fight breaks out between them, my suggestion is to not be involved. The Venara are, however, our closest allies, so it would be best if perhaps you protected them without killing whoever attacked. I realize that's not particularly helpful, but who can see the future? Well,
Divine
I suppose,
is.
yes, Divine is. Smart ass.
I should probably
Try to keep
get
that smart tongue in your mouth during negotiations, shall we?
Yes, he's kind of just. We will keep our tongue in our mouth. Excuse me, sir. Who within our borders has done most of the negotiation with the Strix and has had the most contact with them thus far?
The most contact has been done by Host Delamere. They're mostly negotiating trade, some minor trade with the tribes. We don't particularly need their things, but it does ingratiate us and ensure peace.
Cooperation is probably pretty important for people.
It certainly is. We did not come here as an invading force. We came here as friends, and we wish to keep it so.
Where can I meet this Broyan?
There is a school of fighting and fencing. You're familiar with it. It's down on the third branch, blah, 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 down Elf Lover Street. I'm not good with coming up with names on the fly.
Awesome.
Is it by the little pastry shop?
Yeah. Yes, that's the one.
stop in for a
It's my
pie.
understanding, Broyon does spend a great deal of time there, even beyond his normal regiment required by the school.
He sounds devoted to his craft and to the village.
Well, perhaps you should meet him and then make your decision. He's got kind of a, yeah, you'll see kind of smile.
I'll do my best. The gods are watching.
More than just gobs. Others will be watching as well.
Will the others be ready to step in if things go really bad?
No, they won't, but good luck. Eventually we have to stand on our own 2 feet.
Well, one of these days I'll perfect that fly spell.
Well,
I'm-
keep in mind there are Strix there. They kind of nullify that advantage right away.
All right. I'm going to head to the pastry shop to see if I could find this brilliant person.
Okay, you head to the pastry shop. Right across the way is the School of Fencing and Fighting.
Okay. I'm going to pick up 3 pastries,
Okay.
and then I'm going to go to the School of Fencing and Fighting.
Okay, you pick up your pastries. They put them in a little box. And you walk over to the school. The door is not locked.
Okay.
You walk in. It's it's the end of the day. Most of the students have gone home. There's a few practicing on dummies. You hear the sounds. It's got to be Devin. That was great. That was great. Woo! Yeah, do that again.
That is the direction with which I go.
All right. You walk into a classroom, and by classroom, it's a fighting dojo-style kind of area, and you see the fair-skinned Broyon sparring with Devin. They are both shirtless.
That smells like testosterone and
Yes,
blood in here.
this whole school smells like. Well, I don't know that artists and the Bard School has the equivalent of a gym bag.
It smells like dirty socks.
It smells like dirty socks here in feet.
Prestidigitate.
They seem to finish the routine, then they smash their swords together and go woo.
And
they followed up with a big chest bump.
Exuberant.
Hey, we got a visitor.
Hello, Devin. Are you? Is this Broyan? I am. I've been told that Broyan will help escort me on a diplomatic mission.
Escort you, protect you, and just be great. Yeah. It's gonna be awesome.
Would you like a cookie?
He's about to grab one. He looks back at Devin, and Devin's like, can't. Thanks though, but ladies like the he shows you his ripped abs. He's like,
I brought one for you too.
Oh, nah, don't tempt me. Little devil, you. Woo! Cookies are good, though. I don't blame you.
You do a good McConaughey.
Yeah.
So you're gonna talk and stuff, right?